Jack had always considered himself fortunate. Growing up in a loving home, surrounded by support and understanding, he believed he was destined for happiness. His parents were not just caregivers. They were his mentors, teaching him lessons about kindness, resilience, and the beauty of living a life filled with purpose. But at the tender age of 16, that world came crashing down. In a heartbeat, the perfect family turned to memories, leaving Jack grappling with grief and confusion. The chaotic noise of what had been turned into a deafening silence. At the funeral, amid the sorrowful faces, Jack felt lost. Friends and relatives offered words of comfort, but they felt hollow, mere echoes that didn't penetrate the fog of his despair. He was suddenly thrust into a reality he hadn't prepared for. Days turned into weeks, and weeks stretched into months without his parents. Jack tried to maintain a semblance of normalcy, but each passing moment was haunted by the unbearable weight of his loneliness. The joy he once felt slipped away, replaced by a relentless shadow of grief. He stopped participating in activities he once loved and withdrew from friends who didn't know how to reach him amidst his pain. One gloomy afternoon, he stumbled upon an old box hidden in the attic, dust-covered and forgotten. Within it were memories of happier times, family vacations, birthdays, and notes his parents had written him throughout his childhood. As he sifted through these cherished remnants, a deep ache welled within him, but buried amidst the sadness was a spark, an ember of resilience, waiting to be fanned back to life. That night, something shifted within Jack. Instead of succumbing to despair, he decided to channel his overwhelming emotions into action. He took out a notebook and began to write. At first, it was a torrent of tears and anger, the pages absorbing his pain. But as the ink flowed, he discovered something profound, the power of storytelling. He wrote about his parents, their teachings, their love, and how he longed to honor their memories by continuing to grow. Weeks turned into months, and Jack found solace in his writing. It became a cathartic ritual, a conduit for transforming his grief into something meaningful. But the journey toward healing was not linear. There were days when the weight of loss crashed down hard. In those moments, he sought advice from the wise women and men in his community, those who had faced their demons and emerged stronger. Their stories inspired him, teaching him that suffering could be a catalyst for profound change. Inspired by his connection to others, Jack decided to give back. He spearheaded a writing workshop for teenagers grappling with loss and loneliness, similar to what he had experienced. He invited friends, classmates, and even those he hadn't yet met. The first workshop was small and awkward. Participants shared hesitant stories in a room filled with anxious energy. But as they spoke, their voices merging, each contributing to a shared narrative, the atmosphere transformed. Laughter mingled with tears, sacred spaces were created, and bonds were forged out of vulnerability. As the workshops grew, so did Jack's understanding of himself and others. He learned how to embrace his emotions, allowing grief to coexist with joy. He realized that the memories of his parents were not a weight to bear. They were a source of inspiration. He honored their teachings not just through writing, but by embodying the values they instilled in him: compassion, resilience, and the audacity to dream. Jack's journey led him to discover the beauty of self-improvement. He enrolled in a local community college, eager to learn more about psychology and the power of healing narratives. Each class gave him tools to understand himself better, to delve deeper into the human experience. He read voraciously, explored mindfulness practices, and engaged with others who were also on their unique paths of discovery. One day in class, an assignment required students to present the most impactful moment of their lives. Jack stood in front of his classmates, gripping the edges of the podium. He cleared his throat and began to speak about the tragedy that had forever altered his life. As he recounted his story, he noticed the empathetic expressions on his classmates' faces. They, too, had wrestled with loss and longing. Sharing his painful yet transformative experience not only liberated him but also formed a bridge to connect with others. Their stories resonated like echoes, reminding him that struggles are universal. Through this process, Jack found strength in vulnerability. He realized that he didn't have to hide his pain. Instead, he could use it as a beacon of hope for others lost in darkness. His workshops flourished, drawing in participants from diverse backgrounds, each with their unique narratives, all seeking solace and community. Their laughter echoed through the halls, each moment a reminder of the resilience of the human spirit. Years passed, and Jack became an advocate for mental health awareness, speaking at schools and writing articles aimed at breaking the stigma around grief and healing. He used his experiences to educate others about the importance of nurturing one's emotional well-being. Jack understood that healing is an ongoing journey, an ever-evolving landscape where one can celebrate both the peaks and valleys. Despite all his accomplishments, Jack remained grounded in humility. He often revisited the attic, sitting silently among memories that once felt like chains now turned into wings. His parents were not just a part of his past. They had gifted him the tools to craft a bright future. On particularly challenging days, when self-doubt crept in, he would remind himself of a powerful lesson learned during his journey. Rise from the ashes of sorrow and keep creating. As he surveyed his life, Jack knew the story of his parents would never fade, but would always inspire him to forge ahead, not just for himself, but for others too. He began to understand that self-improvement is not merely a personal endeavor. It's a collective experience that empowers, uplifts, and transforms not just individual lives, but the wider community. Through his journey, Jack became a symbol of what it means to live an authentic life. He learned to embrace the ebb and flow of existence, recognizing that every moment, joyous or painful, contributes to the tapestry of one's life. He inspired countless others to confront their struggles, to lean into their stories, and to find meaning even amid chaos. In conclusion, Jack's story serves as a profound reminder that within our darkest moments lies the potential for transformation and growth. Embrace your journey, for it is through the trials we face that we carve out our identities. Remember, every setback can be a setup for a comeback. Let the wisdom of our experiences guide us, foster connections with others, and shine a light to illuminate the path forward. Love, loss, and resilience, the intricate dance of life, beautifully shapes who we become. So, dare to rise, to share, and to inspire, for the world needs your unique story.